everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 3rd of February, she says confidently. It's a Saturday, I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd. And as you can hear from my voice, I am not well. If you watched my January wrap up, which I'll put in the description, I've had flu for the last week. And I think at the end of that vlog, which finished on a Wednesday, I was like, oh, hopefully I'm going back to work tomorrow. I am going back to work tomorrow. I didn't. I've had a whole week of work, which is not good as a teacher. But it just couldn't be helped. I've been so poorly. It's not COVID. I've checked several times. And yeah, it's now Saturday, so we're now a full week since I started feeling poorly, and I'm still not feeling great. As you can see, I did manage to get dressed today. That's why I'm filming the opening to this vlog whilst I'm dressed, because I feel like I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend in slug mode. I did manage to get dressed today and out of the house. I went to Tesco's for about 20 minutes, spent too much money, and almost fainted. I don't feel great. So yes, I've come home. I'm going to open this vlog and talk to you about some books, and then I'm going to go and get back on the sofa. So yeah, it's been a weird week, which I don't really want to dwell on because I don't want to start this vlog off on a negative note. So yeah, I have finished 2 books, DNF'd 1, bought 1, and I've got a parcel to open. And I also thought I'd show you my Valentine's card to Gary because I thought you guys might like that. Okay, so the first book, let's talk about books. Should we do books first? Let me show you the Valentine's card I've gone for, because that's the other reason. Let's not dox myself. The other reason I wanted to show you was because I bought this from Etsy, obviously from a small business, and I was just so impressed with it. Obviously by the time this goes up, Valentine's Day will be over, but I wanted to show you because they do loads of other cards, and I will definitely be ordering from them again. So the Etsy store is papercatclub.com. I will link them below. Come on, focus. They sent this really lovely thank you postcard, which I'm going to put straight up on my wall because how cute is that cat? It looks just like Molly. And on the back it just says, thank you, Victoria, I hope you like the card. And then it's signed from Sarah, who was the owner. It also came with this really cute business card, just here, and a sticker. We love a sticker, and it's like shiny. There's definitely a better word for that, but yeah, I was just really impressed with that. And then this is the card. This is the one that I've gone for. It's just this really cute, I have to talk quietly because I don't want him to obviously overhear me. This really cute card, you guys can see what's on there. We don't really do Valentine's, and actually I'm gonna be away on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna be with Chloe, but yeah, we don't really do it, so we're gonna kind of do our usual thing, which is just cards and a Chinese on the Sunday before. But yeah, that's the card I've gone for, and I was really impressed with it. And obviously it's a small business on Etsy. I just wanted to give it a shout out because I was super impressed. It arrived really fast, beautifully packaged, which I can't show you because it's on the front, which has got my address on it. But yeah, the whole thing I just really liked, so I thought I would show you guys that. Okay, let's talk books. So the first book I finished was a 5-star read, which is a really good start to the month, obviously. And that was, fully hear myself in the face with it, Laura Olympus, Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe, I think is how you say it, or Smith maybe. I think it's Smythe from the way it's spelt. And yeah, I absolutely love this. This was very kindly gifted to me by Sarah for Christmas, with the loveliest note on it. She just said, Merry Christmas, thank you for all your content, especially your reading month videos. I hope you're able to fully rest and relax before it's once more onto the breach come January, from Sarah. And yeah, it was such a lovely gift. These are, you know, expensive. And my brain has been soup for the last week. So I was looking at my shelves and I was like, oh, what can I read that will be really enjoyable but like not difficult to read? I was like, graphic novel. So yeah, these are really famous. I'm like, I think there's 7 volumes. I am several years behind on this one. And they are Greek gods, sort of set in like a modern, it felt a bit like New York City, modern setting. And in this first one we meet Persephone, who's just moved to Mount Olympus, and she comes across Hades at a party, and that's kind of all I can tell you at this point. It felt very much like an introduction, and I'm now desperate to read the next volume. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and the art style is just absolutely gorgeous. It does also have a content warning at the front, so it says Laura Olympus regularly deals with themes of physical, mental abuse, sexual trauma, and toxic relationships. Some of the interactions in this volume may be distressing for some readers. Please exercise discretion and seek out the support of others if you require it, which I really love. We love a content warning in a book. Let's see if I can show you some of it that's not spoilery. So we've got, that's Hera and Hades. It's just really beautifully done, and like all of this stuff. It's just really beautiful. So yeah, I had a fantastic time reading that, so thank you so much, Sarah, for sending that to me. And yes, I was definitely double checking the name in my brain, honestly. It's so bad right now. And I have taped, if I cover that up because it's got your name on it, I've taped the note into the front of the book so I know who sent it to me. So yeah, I'm now desperate to read volume 2. Really enjoyed that, and it was a definite 5 stars. Then this morning I finished another short book again. I was looking at my shelves and I was like, what can I read that won't be too taxing? And rereading is going to be the key for this first part of the month, I think, because I reread Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, which I was gifted in 2020 at Christmas by the lovely Kirsty from Kirsty's Reviews. Again, cover up surname. I've taped the note into the front, and this was so much fun in a weird, gross, horrifying way. This is one of Grady Hendrix's best works, I think. I've also got My Best Friend's Exorcism on my reread list for this year. And we are following Amy, who is working in an IKEA knockoff, basically. And they come in one day and loads of stuff's been vandalised. So her manager says, I want a few of us to stay behind and stay overnight and see if we can catch whoever it is that's vandalising the store. She signs up for this because she's desperate for money, and stuff goes from there. And you can already see on the front of this cover, like, it's just really unsettling. And then if you don't want any spoilers for Horror Store, I would skip on to the next bit. And it's not a big spoiler, but I'm going to show you the back of the book, which gives you a hint as to how things unfold. So if you don't want any spoilers for Horror Store at all, skip forward now. That's your warning. Okay, because then this is the back. So yes, it goes sideways. I originally gave this 4 stars when I read it in 2021. I've given it 3.5 stars this time. I think it was fun. You can feel Grady Hendrix's kind of signature tongue-in-cheek style in this. And it's definitely got a lot of things to say about working in retail and the way we treat workers and all that kind of stuff, which I enjoyed. And there were definitely, as a good level of horror, there are lots of content warnings for this, so please check it before you pick it up. I had forgotten how unlikable Amy is. She's so annoying, and she makes some really stupid decisions, and she's just not that likable. There is also the kind of stereotyping of a Japanese character in this, which I either didn't notice the first time, which is bad, or I'd forgotten about it, and it just made me really uncomfortable. And that character is really heavily sexualized in a way that other characters aren't, and I was just a bit like, what are we doing? So yeah, and also I'd forgotten how abrupt the ending is. So I did enjoy it. I gave it 3.5 stars the second time round. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I reread it now. I feel like you might see this in a haul coming up, because I'm not sure I need to keep this. And it's a really weird, the way it's designed and put together is really cool, because it's, you know, a catalogue, but it's also really difficult size to keep on my shelves. So yeah, that was my reread. I gave it 3.5 stars. I've also had a DNF, which I'm really sad about. And this is definitely a me, not the book thing. Because the book that I've DNF'd is Song of the Huntress by Lucy Holland. This is an ARC, comes out on the 21st of March. I was very kindly sent this by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. And this just isn't for me. I read 100 pages. I read Sister Song by Lucy Holland a couple of years ago, which was her debut. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. But even at the time, I remember it being a little bit of a slog for me. And I got 100 pages into this, and I was so confused as to who everyone was and what was going on. It was just making me a bit slumpy. I feel like if you like historical fiction, this is Britain 60 AD, so this really is going back in time. And you like kind of slow-paced fantasy, because this has definitely got a fantasy edge to it. I would suggest that you pick her up and read her, because she's a beautiful writer. It just wasn't working for me, and it was making me feel slumpy. So I know someone who will probably really enjoy this, so I'm going to get this into their hands. And yeah, for me, unfortunately, that was a DNF. Then a book I bought was Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. I've never read this, and if you saw my January wrap-up, you know that I'm going as Mary Poppins in March for World Book Day. That costume arrived this week as well. I haven't done anything with it because I just haven't had any energy yet, but I will. And I've never read the original story. I've watched the film, obviously, with Julie Andrews, one of the best films of all time, but I've never actually read the book, so I ordered a little paperback copy of it. And does it not have page number? Oh no, that's fine. It's 160 pages long, so I will obviously read this probably at the start of March, before World Book Day, or the end of February maybe. So yeah, that is a book that came in. And then this parcel arrived, and it's been in my house a few days now and I haven't opened it. I did start to open it, as you can see here, because I ordered a bunch of other stuff and started ripping into it, and then realised it had my channel name on it. So we're going to open this together. I'm going to do my usual disclaimer to say you guys do not need to send me stuff. It is not expected. I really appreciate it when it does happen, so whoever this was, thank you so much, but it is not something that I ever expect. Okay, so oh, that's satisfying. Okay, it's a hardback. Gift note first. Always gift note first. That's the receipt. Come on, Amazon. There we go. Who is this from? Oh, this is from Marianne at Copper Books. A little something because you're poorly. Feel better soon, from Marianne. Marianne, you don't have to do this. Thank you, though. Okay, well, ooh, excellent choice. I know Leanne will approve of this. This is Things We Do to Our Friends by Heather Darwent. And I think this is Dark Academia. It made it into Leanne's favourite books of the year list, and a couple of other people I've seen. This cover, I know a lot of people don't like snakes, so apologies, but I think that's a really cool cover. And the way that Leanne was talking about it made me want to pick it up. So let's read the back together, because I do not have the brain power to remember anything about this, except that I was excited to read it. So, how much is an extraordinary life worth if others have to pay? Claire arrives at the University of Edinburgh with a secret. This is her chance for a blank slate, to find the right people and reinvent herself. And then she meets Tabitha. Tabitha is charismatic, beautiful, and intimidatingly wealthy. Soon Claire is sucked into her enigmatic circle of friends and their dizzying world of champagne on rooftops and summers in France. Her new life has begun. Then Tabitha reveals the little project they're working on, a project they need Claire to help with. It's reckless, probably perilous, and might finally allow Claire to become who she was always meant to be. This sounds really intriguing. I might pick this up straight away. Oh, look at the spine. Can you see that? It's like snake scales. I think Leanne said it had one of the best twists she's ever read. So let's put that to the test. Thank you so much, Marianne. That's really generous of you. I might pick this up. What have I got to read? I'm currently reading... What am I reading? I'm reading The Emma Donoghue, which was the book that I was scared of at the end of last month. Still scared of it. I am enjoying it though so far. And I need to reread Middle Game, which is going to be a project. I might need a breather. I might need something cute in between. But then I may well pick this up this month, because I'm very excited about this book and I want to crack into it whilst I am still excited about it. And this is a debut, which is absolutely outrageous. Okay, well, yes, that was very lovely. I'm officially starting to waffle. So I'm going to go and sort all this rubbish out that's now sat here. Hide the Valentine's card to my husband. Get back into my pyjamas and rest. It's the 9th of February and we are on half term. So some immediate apologies. One, the light's going. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it shouldn't be too dark to be filming. I'm also not sure if you're straight. Yeah, so apologies for the light. Apologies for the way I look and sound. This is what I look like and sound like after a very long week of teaching. And apologies for the cat noises, because Jack is just down here having some biscuits. So it's been quite the week, Jay. It's been quite the week. Let me show you Jack. Let me just check I haven't got my dress out anywhere. No, I think we're okay. There he is. JJ. Look at him limping. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's been quite the week. So let's go in chronological order of the way things happen. So I went back to school on Monday. So I've just had my tripod up again. Went back to school Monday. Felt dreadful, to be honest, but my temperature was normal and stuff, so I was like, I'm just going to have to push through. And then during lesson 2, we got an email to say that we'd had the Ofsted call. For any of you that are new here, we've been waiting for Ofsted at my school for the last 6 months. We've been in the Ofsted window since September, so that's what, like 3-4 months ago. And we'd had the call to say that they were arriving the next day. So obviously we basically all panicked. We've been Ofsted ready for ages. We are a good school and we will work hard and all that stuff, but knowing that the inspectors were coming was scary. And they were with us Tuesday and Wednesday, and we won't have the official judgment for about 6 weeks or so, but it was a positive inspection. It was exhausting and it was very stressful and tense and scary, and because I'm an English teacher, I was observed a couple of times and had to be interviewed and stuff. So yeah, it was stressful. But it's done, and like I said, it was quite positive and the indication's positive, and hopefully we will retain our good rating. But yeah, we'll find out in about 6 weeks time, but that's done. And then also on Monday night, so we got the call Monday, and then they were in with us Tuesday and Wednesday. Was at home Tuesday night. I was just about to go up to bed, and Jack came through the cat flap and came into the lounge, and Gary said he's limping on his back leg, and he was, and he was also vocalizing, and he's quite a quiet cat. You don't hear his voice very often. So I tried to examine him and he wouldn't let me, and he was also like hissing and spitting, which again just isn't like him, so he was clearly really distressed. So we called the emergency vet and off we went, which is not, we're very lucky to be able to find that kind of money at short notice. He is also insured, which will help. Took him up to the vets, and the vet thinks he's been clipped by a car, so they admitted him to kind of sedate him so that they can examine him fully and do x-rays and stuff. They can't find any, he's not broken anything or anything like that. He has definitely got some muscle damage to his back leg, which is why he is now on bed rest. So he's currently shut in our spare room, is very cross about it. He's having lots of pain relief. He seems fine in himself and he's moving around, which is really positive. But yeah, he's definitely got about probably at least another week, I think, shut in here. He's just glaring at me from the floor. So that's been going on. So that was Monday night, just as I was trying to get ready for Ofsted. So the timing was just impeccable. But luckily, like, the main thing is that he's okay. And yeah, so it's been quite the week. And then yesterday was Thursday, and I was at school until about 8 o'clock because we had options evening for year 9. And today we had collapsed timetable day, so everything was upside down and the kids were completely feral. So yeah, this is what it looked like after that kind of week. But I just wanted to do a clip before the weekend because I finished a book, which I finished Sunday. I haven't done any reading this week, except for a little bit of audiobook listening. My mum sent me a present, 'cause she's so cute, and I did a Lauren order for candle stuff. Look at little hop along down there. JJ. He's like, I'm not interested, I just want out of this room. He's not my biggest fan at the moment, unfortunately, even though it's for his own good. Okay, and also I've had a parcel from Book Break, which is very exciting, so we'll see what they've sent me. Which order should we do this in? Let's talk about the book first, because we're losing light rapidly. So I actually finally did it, guys. I read Learn by Heart by Emma Donoghue. I've been putting this book off for the longest time because I've been so intimidated by it. It's also very shiny because this is my signed first edition from Topping & Co. And also, just, can we just have a moment for these edges? They are just so beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful books I own. Jack, you're not supposed to be jumping. He just jumped up onto the sofa. He's like, what? I'm getting on my bed, woman, leave me alone. You will now probably be able to hear him cleaning himself. Yeah, I've been so intimidated by this book for so long because Emma Donoghue's written some of my favourite books, and also she's written books that I've DNF'd or given like 2 stars. So I was scared to see where we're going to end up here. I gave this 4 stars. This is historical fiction, and we are following, we're following Eliza, sorry. He's just asking for cuddles, so I'm legally obliged. Yeah, we're following Eliza Rain, who is 14 years old, and she is at a boarding school. And one day this girl arrives who's called Anne Lister, and Anne Lister goes on to become Gentleman Jack, who is a person that I've always been fascinated by. And we see their year at school together from Eliza's point of view. And then interwoven into the story every so often is a letter from Eliza to Anne. And it becomes apparent, is it a spoiler? It's Eliza writing as an adult to Anne. And I won't say any more than that. And it's about the relationship between the two of them. It's sapphic. It's very much about coming of age and growing up and discovering yourself. And I really liked this. I didn't love it. It wasn't quite pull of the stars territory for me, but I did really enjoy it. And yeah, like I said, I gave it 4 stars. And I'm so happy I read it. It's been the oldest book on my TBR. And like I said, it's one that was really intimidating me. So I'm glad that I took a deep breath and picked it up and read it. And like I said, this beautiful, beautiful edition. Those sprayed edges I'm obsessed with. So yeah, I finished 1 book since I spoke to you last. And then I'll show you the gift my mum sent me, because that's the next thing that happened. She's so cute. She sent this to me because I'd been poorly and she just wanted to cheer me up. So I will try and find this, because she sent this to me via Amazon. It's a gift for you, the Inside the Box gift company. So if I can find it, I'll link it in the description, because look what you get when you open it up. It's all beautifully tissue papered. And then, oh yeah, look at all the goodies. Oh, so many that they are falling out. There is so much chocolate in there. And I was very excited to receive this. So yeah, I'm going to crack into this weekend for sure. Because there's all sorts of bits in here. There's hot chocolate as well. Like, it's just all Cadbury's stuff. Oh my gosh, there's a Freddo. There's two Freddos. So I might have to share one of those with my husband. So yeah, that was a very lovely gift from my mum. And especially because it was a just because gift. And then I did not 1, but 2 Lauren orders, and I'll link her shop in the description. She just makes the most beautiful wax melts, and I hadn't been on there for ages, so I was like, I'll go and have a little look. I did 1 order, and then the next day she did her Valentine's drop, so then I did another order. So these are all like thrown in together. This is not how she packaged it. She packaged it beautifully as always. So I'm just going to show you very quickly what I got. So I got waffles at Luke's, which is obviously influenced based on the Gilmore Girls, and it's so cute. It's hot waffles and maple syrup, and these things smell so good. Oh my gosh, I've just thrown them everywhere. They're like little mini wax melts, and they're little waffles, and honestly the smell, I cannot even explain how nice it smells. I might just leave one out on the side in this room because it smells a bit catty in here. So yeah, I got those ones. I also got, is that the Valentine's ones? No. Yes, maybe. I'm not sure. I got I Love You, You Idiot, which is another Gilmore Girls one, which smells like sweet candy kisses. These smell like those hard candies that you get with the hearts on it. My brain has literally left the building. But this just smells really sweet and lovely. I also bought Fairy Cottage, which is brambled berry. I haven't smelled this one yet. Oh man, it's just every single scent she does, I'm just like, give it to me. But I especially like the fruity ones. Yeah. Oh, that smells so good. That's like obviously berries, but also like appley and stuff. I like it a lot. And then I picked up this is blackcurrant and agar wood, which is enchanted wood, this beautiful purple one. This is the one that's just arrived today. And again, I can only have, oh, that smells nice. That's quite soapy as well, which I like in a scent. And then finally I got one from the Taylor Swift collection, which is Reputation, which is not my favourite album, but this is described as sour apple, snake venom and gorgeous things, and I was like, yes, anything appley, I'm like, I would like that, please. And yeah, oh yeah, that's really lovely, that one. And then in each order she puts a free gift in because she's so cute. So I got Fighting Dragons with You, which is another Taylor Swift reference. Oh, that smells so lovely. And Tea with Mr. Tumnus. Oh yeah, I like that as well. I might have to do a whole order of that. No, I can't order any more stuff right now. I've got so many wax melts. So yeah, treating myself to some wax melts, because apparently that's what we do when we're stressed. And then the lovely people at Book Break have sent me this parcel, which I think's got 1 book in it, which is very exciting. So let's open this up and see what we've got together. I'm very, very lucky to be part of their influencer program. And that means that at the end of each month, I get a very lovely email with a list of books, and you can request arcs of those books. And yeah, and then we see what I get. So what have they sent me? Oh, yes. This is the next John Mars book. This is The Family Experiment by John Mars. I'm not even sure what this is about, but I saw it on the list and I was like, yes, please. This comes out in May. It doesn't have an actual specific date. It just says May 2024. So I'll be reading this in April. She's big. 11 contestants, 9 months to win the perfect child. The world's population is soaring, creating overcrowded cities and an economic crisis. In the UK, breaking point has arrived. Too many people can no longer afford to start families, let alone raise them. But for those desperate to be parents, there is an alternative, a new reality TV show, following 10 couples as they compete to raise a virtual child from birth to the age of 18. The prize? The right to keep the virtual child or risk it all for the chance of a real baby. Set in the same universe as John Marr's best-selling novels The One and The Marriage Act, this is a dark and twisted thriller about the ultimate Tamagotchi, a virtual child. I might have to read this like right now. That sounds so good. I don't think I can wait till May. Might have to be naughty and read this really early. But thank you so very much to the people at Book Break. I'm so excited for that one. Okay, this clip is 11 minutes long with poor background, poor lighting and a bit of a rubbish background, so I do apologise, but I wanted to film a quick clip before the weekend. It's now half term. Gary and I are house hunting again tomorrow. Then Sunday we are using as Valentine's Day because I'm away for Valentine's, and then I'm going away for a couple of days, and obviously I will take you guys with me. But for now, I'm going to go and sort my house out a little bit. I'm going to give some love to my poor baby Jack. And then I'm going to run myself a bath and pour myself a decent glass of wine. It's the 12th of February and I'm hoping I will be slightly more coherent than I was when I last spoke to you. It's now Monday morning. We had a really lovely weekend. We went and looked at 4 new houses. I don't think any of them are quite right, but that's okay. We've seen them and crossed them off the list, and we're still not proceedable anyway because we don't have an offer on ours yet. Although we do have some first-time buyers coming to have a look on Wednesday, so fingers crossed for that. But yeah, we went house hunting on Saturday. Grabbed a takeaway Saturday night. Yesterday we went and had brunch, which was really nice, and went to Waterstones, and I bought a book, which I'll show you in a second. And then, excuse me, I've still got a bit of this lurgy hanging around. And then we just chilled. I just lay on the sofa and read and had a bath, and we had leftovers for dinner. I was supposed to cook a proper meal, and it was just I just can't be bothered, and we need to eat these leftovers, so we might as well have that. And then today I've been running around doing all the stuff I didn't do yesterday, so laundry and food shop, etc, etc. But it's now about 11:30. I am about to go and pick up my mother-in-law, and we're going to go for lunch at our favourite Italian. We've not been there for it might be 6 months since we've been there, which is ridiculous. So I'm really excited to do that and have a good catch up with her. And then tomorrow I've got to take Jack to the vets. He's doing okay. He's still not putting weight on his leg, and it's now 8 days, 7 days. It's now a week. By the time we see the vet, it'll be 8 days since his injury. So we're taking him back tomorrow for another check, and I'm assuming they're going to give us some more painkillers for him and tell us to keep him as he is resting inside. He's okay. He's grumpy. He really wants out of the bedroom that he's in. But we are keeping him as comfortable as we can and giving lots of cuddles, etc. And then I'm going off to see Chloe, and I'm really, really excited. So yeah, half-term week is underway. So I finished a book, I bought a book, and some lovely person has sent me a book. So here is the update. So in the last clip, you saw me haul The Family Experiment by John Marrs, which comes out in May, and I was very kindly sent this ARC by Book Break. And I flew through this in technically 3 days because I started it on Friday night and finished it yesterday. But really, if I hadn't had other distractions, I could have read this in one go, and it's 450 pages. I flew through this. I've given it 4 stars. I should probably tell you what it's about. It's set, I think I read the synopsis out in the last clip, so I won't do that again. It's set in the same universe as The One and The Marriage Pact, the Marriage Act. So if you've read either of those, this is kind of the third in that series, trilogy, I don't know. I was hooked on this book from start to nearly finish. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars. It's really clever. You're following 4 couples and a single man who take part in this reality TV show where you go into a virtual reality and you are given a baby. and that baby over 9 months grows from being a newborn into an adult. So like at the start of each section, it tells you how old the children are. So like here, so month 1, newborn, and then by the time you get to month 9, they're full grown, they're 18 years old. And we're following all of the different secrets and lies, the way different people link up, different people's kind of motives for things. And I found this so interesting. And what I also really like, we're sort of at some point in the future, but we're not like really far. It feels like 15 or 20 years into the future. And John Mars has woven things in, like talking about yearly COVID lockdowns. There's discussion of how the cost of living crisis, which we are currently right now living through, how that kind of got worse and worse over time. It talks about NHS Plus is the healthcare system. Like all of these things just make it feel so realistic and horrifying and quite scary. And I just really loved it. Like I said, it absolutely had me by the throat. It didn't quite make the ending. That's why I gave it 4 stars. And I didn't have the emotional reaction that I would need for a 5. However, I feel like this is going to be huge when it comes out, and I would definitely recommend it. And if you haven't read The One and The Marriage Act, I would definitely read those. The One is still my favourite. I didn't love The Marriage Act. I think I still gave it like a solid 3.5, 4 stars though. And I really liked this one. So yeah, this was a bit naughty of me really, because it doesn't come out till May, so I shouldn't have read it till April. But as soon as I held it in my hands, I was like, yeah, I can't wait on reading this. So yeah, I flew through that one, and I'm very glad I did. Then yesterday, when we went to have brunch, there's a Waterstones like just across the road from where we usually go, and I had a book voucher that the lovely Molly, who was our PGC student, gave me on her last day. She was so sweet. She just gave it as a little thank you, and it was wonderful of her, and it's been like burning a hole in my wallet ever since. So we went into Waterstones, and I was looking for this book specifically because it's one that I read it when I was about 12 or so, but I didn't carry on with the series. And then I've seen a lot of people talking about the series lately, and the one person that's definitely hooked me on the idea of this is Gavin, because the book is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I saw Gavin's Hobbit Hole vlog, which I'll put in the description. I've shared it on my community tab as well before. I just thought it was such a wonderful, beautiful, cozy vlog, and funny in places, as Gavin always is. And I just loved watching that. I think it's quite a long one, so like settle in. But I just absolutely loved that vlog. And the way he was talking about the books really appealed to me, because he was talking about how there are like so many of my buzzwords came up, and he was talking about like found family and the descriptions of food and how cozy it is, particularly with the hobbits. And it just made me want to pick the books up. Like I said, I read this before. I read this when I was about 12. I never carried on and read the actual main trilogy. I know the story really well because my brother was obsessed with the books and the films. So I know what happens. I know all about it. But I've never actually read the main trilogy. So I wanted to go into a bookshop to look at physical copies, because one thing that I've come to understand about myself in the 4 years since I was diagnosed as dyslexic is font and like the color of the page and the size of the font and all that kind of stuff makes a real difference to my reading experience. And what I don't want to do, I feel like these books are out of my comfort zone anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I could kind of set myself up for success. And these editions are the HarperCollins editions. I don't know if it tells me any more than that. Just as HarperCollins. What are you? Yeah, that's just all it says, paperback edition. And what I liked is it's not like, I'll show you this because it's like not spoiler, it's just a preface. Like that size font I can cope with. And I like the paper. It's not like Bible paper, which you find sometimes with editions of these books, which just looks like a hangnail. That's really annoying. So we're going to give this a go. I am a little bit nervous, I can't lie. I'm not sure if you'll see me read it this month. If you don't see me read it this month, it will definitely be next month. I do really like how pretty that is, look. Chloe has picked my next read, my main read for this week. But this is definitely like become high priority. I really want to give this another go. And then, like I said, if I like it, I will go on and read. I'm not going to commit to the full trilogy, because also I know myself, and I know committing to a trilogy is just a death knell. But if I like this one, I will read The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the first in the main trilogy. So yeah, I bought that, and I really like this edition. And it works for my dyslexia, so that's good. And then this arrived a few days ago. And it's been living on my bedside table ever since, so I thought I would open it. I think I've already done the disclaimer in this video because I've already been spoiled by somebody in this video. So whoever this was, thank you so much. Let's see what you picked. Oh, I came off in one. Why is that so deeply satisfying? Okay, gift note first. That's the receipt. Oh, it's from Alice from Bookish Tea Leaves. Just to say thank you for your amazing content and a well done for surviving Ofsted from Alice. Thank you so much, Alice. That's really kind. You don't have to send me things, but I do appreciate it. Right, what have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Oh, people are just trying to derail my reading. Not my reading, but like my TBR this month, because now I want to read this immediately. This is Watch Her Fall by Erin Kelly. Sorry, what an AGI now. I can't remember who it was, but somebody recommended this to me because I read and loved, what was the Erin Kelly book that I loved that was in my top books of the year? Oh my gosh, I cannot remember. It's not on this list because this was clearly published beforehand. It was the one with the green cover. Is it over here? No, I think I'm lending it to my mother-in-law today. I'll put a picture, I will find it and I'll put a picture here, but this one I absolutely loved, and somebody recommended me this one off the back of it. And I think it's about a murder mystery in a ballet school. I watched her rise, I tracked her every move, and now I'll watch her fall. It sounds so good. Oh, thank you so much, Alice. That is such a treat. This will probably get read fairly quickly as well. Because I say like derailing my TBR. My TBR for the month is pretty much done. I need to read Middle Game. I need to finish that. I'm about 100 pages in, and then that's my like priority stack done for February. Like I said, Chloe's picked me a book for when I'm with her, because I only felt right that she'd choose me a book for when I'm visiting her. So I've got that to read. I need to finish Bitter as well by Akwaeke Emezi, which I started at school, and I would quite like to get to The Hobbit, but I'm also conscious that we've only got like 2 weeks of the I was about to say year left, the month left, and I've got quite a bit to do this week, and then I'll be back to school. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But this, I really want to get to this soon. Right, I better go and get myself ready. Made an effort today. Got my Anna Louisa jewellery on. I'll put that link in the description as well in case you fancy it. But yeah, I'm gonna go pick my mother-in-law up, take her out for lunch, and have a lovely time, I'm sure. And then tomorrow I'm off to see Chloe. It is the 16th of February and I am back from Worcester, so I will have put in a couple of clips of B-roll and possibly a clip of Chloe in, but that vlog will have gone up before this one, so I will link it in the description so you can see all of everything that we got up to. I've had a really, really lovely couple of days, and now I'm back. So I've got three books I've finished, 2 physical, 1 audio, and then I did treat myself to some books in Worcester, which again I'm just going to show you very briefly. And then I am actually about to sit and film a 76 book on haul, which also will go up before this, so I'll link that in the description. Please go and watch it because it's probably going to take me ages to film. Plus I've got both girl cats running around like absolute lunatics this morning. Also update on Jack. He had to have more x-rays yesterday because his leg isn't healing. There's no breaks or fractures, which is really good, but they have found an infection in his knee joint. I mean, is it his knee? It's his back leg, so I'm calling it his knee joint, but it might be an elbow joint. I don't know. But anyway, there's an infection in the joint from a wound, probably from where he was hit by the car, which we didn't know about, which we now do. So that's positive. He's got 10 days of antibiotics and he needs to rest. And he looks very funny at the moment because he's got various like shaved bits where they've, you know, put needles in and stuff. but he's upstairs. He's perfectly happy. The vet was very complimentary about him yesterday and said that he was basically flirting with all the vet staff. They've all fallen in love with him. So that was good. He was very well behaved. For those of you that don't know, he has dementia. And so he can be a little bit spicy sometimes. But apparently he was fine yesterday. So that's good. What else is happening? We've got a second viewing on our house tomorrow from the first time buyers that saw it yesterday or the day before, Wednesday. So that could be positive. Although the two houses that we've really liked when we've gone and done viewings ourselves have both gone under offer. So we are now back to the drawing board, which is a little bit heartbreaking. I can't lie. One of them I was completely in love with, but I guess that's part of the process. Okay, let's talk books. So the first book that I finished, I'll put a picture up here because it was an audiobook, and it was a reread of Perfect Death by Helen Fields, read by Robin Lang. If you've been watching my content from the start of this year, I'm obsessed. I'm fully rereading the series. I read the first one so that I could take part in Charlotte at Books and Bargains January book club live show, and now I'm 3 or 4 books deep. I can't remember which one this is. I think I'm in the third one. And I'm just really having a brilliant time. It's a police procedural series following Luke Kalanick, D.I. Luke Kalanick, and the crimes that he and the murder squad are investigating. I can't obviously tell you too much about it because it's like 3rd or 4th in a series. I gave this one 4 stars. We also have Ava's point of view this time. I think the rest of them are now dual point of view between Ava and Luke, which I always enjoy. This one I really liked. Well, I really like the whole series. This one's got what looks like a series of unconnected murders, people being killed different places, different ages, different like methods, and you kind of see how it all starts weaving together. So yeah, I really liked it. Gave it 4 stars. Not really anything else to say about that one, to be honest. Then I read what I hope is going to be the worst book of the year. I'm hoping we're getting it out of the way early in the year. 2 disclaimers. One, this was very kindly gifted, and when I read books and I dislike them, it doesn't mean I dislike the person that gifted it. I feel like that should be obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm also sat here about to unhaul a whole bunch of books that have been gifted to me by you guys and various other people. Yeah, so it doesn't mean I don't appreciate the gift, because I really do, and I'm so glad I got to read it, because it's one I've been eyeing for a while, and secondly, it's the book that Chloe picked for me to read whilst I was up in Worcester with her, which makes me laugh. That book is a book that was very popular last year or the year before, and that was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I gave this 2 stars. The only reason it got 2 stars is because I liked the beginning and I finished it. And that's the only positives I have. It was a very fast read. I read it very quickly. I read it in about 24 hours. We are following Casey, whose husband has died the year before at that lake house, and she is back at the lake a year later, partly because she has a problem with alcohol and her family have kind of sent her there to kind of get her out of the way. She's an actress, and they want her to be like out of the public eye and have some time to heal. So she's back at the lake house. And while she's there is the house across the lake, which is this very modern kind of glass and steel, you can see into it really easily, house that belongs to a former supermodel and her tech billionaire husband. And Casey starts spying on this couple. She's sat outside her house one night on the porch drinking, and she's got her husband's binoculars, and she starts watching what's going on inside the house, and she thinks she sees something untoward happening, and it's about what happens, and it kind of goes from there. So like I said, I gave this 2 stars. I'm going to do something I don't often do, which is I'm going to spoil this book. So I will put a spoiler warning up here somewhere. So if you don't want to know anything about this book, because I'm going to get into why I didn't like it, and to explain that fully, I need to reveal the twist. So if you don't want any information on this, apart from the fact that I really hated it and gave it 2 stars, click like forward until I've got a different book in my hands. The next book I'm going to review is much more positive, and that's Bitter by Quakey Mezzi. So yeah, I will put the spoiler warning up, and then once that goes away, you are safe. Okay, that was your warning. Give you a second to click forward. Okay, so there are several twists in this book, which is a good thing, and it was like entertaining enough that I finished it, like I said. However, it crosses into a completely ridiculous, like absolutely crazy, and it annoyed me because actually it felt like really lazy writing. So the first twist is that Len, Casey's husband was a serial killer. He killed 3 girls and he had buried them in the lake without her knowledge. And she finds this out one day because she finds the trophies that he's taken from them. And she murders Len. She makes it look like, we're told at the beginning that he drowned in the lake and that's how he died, and she's, you know, deep in her grief and all of that kind of stuff. But we come to find out that she drugged him once she found out he was a serial killer and made it look like he drowned by accident. So that's the first twist, and I quite like that. And if we'd kind of stopped there, it would have been a solid book. However, Riley Sager then takes it one step further, because Len's soul, now bear with me because this is mad, Len's soul has gone into the lake and has stayed in the lake. And at the start, in the opening sort of bit of the book, Catherine, who is the supermodel who lives across the lake, she nearly drowns, and Casey jumps in and saves her. But because Catherine effectively died in the lake, Len's soul has gone into Catherine's body and is then controlling her. And then Catherine's husband, Tom, notices something is wrong with his wife, thinks that she's gone mad. And so instead of getting help from the relevant authorities, he chains her up in the basement of a different house on the lake that's empty because it's out of season. And Casey finds this out because she thinks Tom's killed his wife. So she tracks them both to the basement of this house, realises that Len is inside Catherine's body, and is then trying to work out how to get rid of Len without killing Catherine. So it was just super annoying, okay? I feel like if we'd had the twist that Len was a serial killer, I would have been on board with that, because he's presented all the way through, like, Casey really talks about how wonderful he was to her and their relationship and how much she misses him and how in love they were, So that twist that he was the serial killer was great, because for a while it looked like it was going to be Tom. But the whole, like, spirit in the lake, that's where it lost me. And I was like, this is ridiculous now. And it just felt like lazy writing, like trying to be excited, like shoving stuff in for the sake of it. So yeah, 2 stars, really not a fan. Hopefully that's the worst book of the year. Done and dusted. Okay, then as I said, last night I finished Bitter by Kweki Emezi. This is the prequel to Pet, which I read last year and really enjoyed. I'm actually about to unhaul it because I'm going to put it into my school library. And in this, we're following Bitter, who is Jam's mother. Jam is the protagonist in the first book. And we're now sort of like 15 years or so before the events of that book. And it's a little bit difficult. I don't really want to tell you anything because I feel like you should just kind of go into these quite blind. But in Pet, we are in a world where there are no monsters. All the monsters have been kind of killed and banished, etc. Until a painting comes to life, or Jam gets some of her blood on a painting of her mother's and it comes to life. And you see in this one, Bitter herself and how she can kind of call forward her paintings using her blood. And she's living in a town or a world where there is a lot of violence, and she is very reluctant to get involved in kind of pushing back against that and going to protest and all that kind of stuff. It's very much about protesting and standing up for what you believe in, but also keeping yourself safe. I really, really enjoyed this. I gave this 4 stars. Kweki Emezi's writing is just gorgeous. I want to read everything they've ever written. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This was also gifted to me, I think. Yes, it was from the lovely Lisa. Did Lisa also give me this one? I feel like maybe. Lisa sends me lots of things because she's lovely. Oh no, this was Marie Claire. So thank you by the way, for sending this to me, Marie Claire. I know I didn't like it, but I appreciate being able to read it because I've been looking at it for a while. And yeah, lovely Lisa sent me this one. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. My stomach is growling. I should probably eat something before I film a massive video. Yeah, 4 stars would definitely recommend. And then the books that I bought whilst I was in Worcester, like I said, I'm just going to whip through these because you will have seen them in the Worcester vlog. But I got The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, obviously. I got Everyone in This Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I got Henry VIII, The Heart and the Crown by Alison Weir, which is going to form part of, don't worry, I will take stickers off, it's going to sit just there in that gap there once I've read it. It's a chunker though. It's like, yeah, 625 pages. So I'm going to need some time to read this one. It's quite floppy though. I also got The Cloisters by Katie Hayes, and then in a charity shop I grabbed a copy of The Death of Downton Abbey by Mandy Morton, which is part of the No. 2 Feline Detective Agency. And yeah, I saw this for £3 and I was like, yes please, that's the next one I need. So that is my update for this video. Today I am going to film because I haven't put any February content up yet. Whoops, ran out of time, energy and inclination. So I'm going to film this unhaul. Then I am going to get my hair cut. Haven't had a haircut or a colour since October and my hair is just desperate for it, so I'm very excited for that. And then I need to crack on with marking. I haven't started my marking yet, so I need to do that. And then tomorrow is Saturday. We've got the second viewing on our house, so Jack is going on a little jaunt to Nanny and Grandad's because obviously he can't be shut in the spare room for a viewing, so he's going over there. He likes it there, so it'll be fine. We are going to go and see Grandma, as we haven't seen her since Christmas, so that'll be good. And then again, crack on with my marking because we are getting towards the end of the holiday. I can't lie, my anxiety is starting to rumble a little bit, but we've still got a couple of days. So yeah, I better stop talking to you and unhaul 70 however many books. It's the 22nd of February and this might be the worst setup I've ever had for a clip. I'm going to have to be really quick. It is late. It is Thursday night. I have been teaching all week. This is the week where I only have one free in the week. So I don't even know which way is up. Plus, the good news is that we went under offer this week. We've accepted an offer, which is really, really good. I'm literally holding you. I don't do this very often. Yeah, so we've accepted an offer on our house, which means we need to find somewhere to go to like yesterday. So after a very long day of teaching, we went house hunting this evening. So I'm exhausted. I don't know which way is up. And the reason I wanted to film a clip is because tomorrow, which is Friday after school, we're going away for the weekend, which is our Christmas present to each other. Sorry, the cats are chasing each other all around the house. Which one are you, Savvy? Hello. You being a little rotter. So we're going away tomorrow, so I want to do like nice B-roll of that, and I wanted to do a very quick book catch up before we went. Oh, Molly's here prowling. So yeah, I'm exhausted. I look a mess and this is a really terrible setup. I mean, you have got my TBR shelves just there, so it's sort of bookish if I lean this way, but I have finished an audiobook, which is, I've got it on a slip paper, but Editing Victoria put a picture in here. I read Mislaid in Parts Half Known by Shauna Maguire, which was narrated by Jessie Valinsky. I read that on audiobook. It's book 9 of the... Every Heart Doorway is the first one, but there's an actual name for the series that I now can't remember. Now I've got Jack in here as well. But anyway, it's book 9 in that series and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a sequel to the previous book, which the name of which I also can't remember. I'm such a good booktuber today. But it's a follow-up to Antsy's story. I liked it much more than I did that one, the book 8, because it's a quest and we've got loads of characters back together, and I much prefer it when it's multiple characters in a book rather than just focusing on one. I think the next book is the last book in the series, and I'm not quite sure how Shauna Maguire is going to tie it all together, or even if they are going to try and tie it all together. Oh, now the cats. Stop it, you two. They've just had dinner, so everyone is full of beans. So yes, that is the book that I read. I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to seeing the conclusion. And much like pretty much everyone else who's read that series, I'm going to want to do a full reread once we've got the whole series. So yeah, I read that on audiobook. Really enjoyed it. The narrator does a fantastic job. So yes, I'm sorry this is such a rough clip in all ways. I'm literally holding you sat on my bed. The cats are chasing each other around. I look rough. I sound rough because I've also got another cold. But I just wanted to tell you about that book before we go off and have a lovely weekend. Oh, and good news on Jack. He is out the spare room and back in general circulation. He's got one more, so I'm just watching the girl cats down here who are terrorising each other through the door. Sav, leave her alone. He's got one more checkup appointment with the vet on Monday, but the infection looks like it's cleared up, like his skin has gone back to a normal colour. He's walking on it. He's absolutely fine. So hopefully that will just be a formality for them to sign him off. And for now... Oh, and also tomorrow morning, I've got to drop off my car from its MOT. So I have to drop the car off for the MOT really, really early. Gary's going to drive me to work, bless him, which is like an hour and a half out of his day. Then I'm going to work all day, as will he, obviously. Then he's going to pick me up from school. Then we've got another house to look at on our way to where we're staying, which I think I already said is our Christmas present to each other. And then we're away Friday night, Saturday night, and back Sunday. So the next time I speak to you is likely to be Sunday, but I will try and take B-roll footage of our weekends, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, fingers crossed that the car goes fine through its MOT. Fingers crossed that one of these houses that we're quickly going to look at will be the right one, and fingers crossed that I make it to the end of tomorrow without crying. Going back to school always hits like a sledgehammer, and this term is no different. So yeah, for now I need to go and separate these crazy cats, and I need to pack a bag because we're going away tomorrow. And that's almost all of the books that I read in the month of February. It is now the 1st of March and I'm coming in to wrap up the wrap up. It's Friday afternoon. I've just got home from work. There's just enough light left to film this clip so I can hopefully get this video up on time for you. I'm very tired. I'm very frazzled. It's been a very long week. We had parents' evening at school for year 9. There goes the cat, or one of the cats. We've been house hunting like mad. I think I've been an absolutely terrible vlogger because I've barely been filming anything because there just has not been enough hours in the day this month. However, I did come home to a delivery of the new bookmarks, so they will be with you as soon as I've got time to film a video for them and take pictures and all that stuff, but hopefully soon. But yeah, it's been intense this month. So I've got 2 more books to talk to you about that I finished, 1 book that has come in, and then we can do stats. So the first book that I finished was The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. You guys saw me haul this. I'm pretty sure I brought this in this month, and I picked it up and I was completely obsessed, as you can see by the many different coloured tabs. I just was completely swept away into this story. I loved the found family and the adventures and the description of food and all of that kind of stuff, the magic of it and the adventure. I just absolutely loved it. I did not expect to love this, but I'm so glad I picked it up. I gave it 5 stars in case you couldn't tell from my gushing. And yeah, I just know this is what I'm going to be thinking about. I won't tell you what the tabs are for because they're for characters and I don't want to give spoilers if you've not read it, but I was fully obsessed. So yeah, I absolutely adore this, gave this 5 stars. I think I've already shown you that I bought Fellowship of the Ring, which is the start of the actual main trilogy, and I'm definitely going to be picking that up in March. I know lots of people have warned me that the main trilogy is more adult fantasy, whereas this was aimed at children and a kind of middle grade audience. But I absolutely adored this. So I'm hoping that I enjoy the main trilogy, but even if I didn't, I'm glad I read this because I had such a lovely time with it. And then my final read of the month was a reread of Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. I first read this in 2020 and I was nervous to reread it because it's a chunker. It's nearly 600 pages. Plus it's sci-fi, not usually my thing. But I reread it and I was also obsessed with it. I had 2 books in a row that I was tabbing. Both of these books took me ages to read for the length of them, especially The Hobbit. The Hobbit's not very long. But I was just really enjoying taking my time and tabbing. And again, I've tabbed for characters, so I won't, tell you what the different colours are for. But I absolutely love this. I gave this 5 stars again on reread. And I was reminded of how creepy this cover is because if you know, you know. In this one, I didn't explain what The Hobbit was about. I feel like I probably don't need to. But, sorry, the cats are all chasing each other. Girls, calm down. Don't worry, nobody's being bullied. They all take it in turns. I've now got a very wide-eyed Molly and a wide-eyed Sav, and Jack is just reclining. Let's see if I can show you. This is the scene. Jack's on the windowsill. We've now got moles up there on the cat tree and Sav on the floor. This is the chaos that I live my life in. Yeah, this one is about a hobbit who goes on an adventure, and if you haven't read it, you definitely should. This one, very different vibe. This is like adult sci-fi horror, fantasy, not fantasy, but like definitely horror, like, yeah, somewhere around there. And we're following Roger and Dodger, who are a pair of twins who have been separated at birth. And that is literally all I'm going to tell you, because you should definitely just go into this as blind as possible. Check content warnings. It is very dark. And like I said, if you know what the hand is for, then you will know how dark it gets. But I loved this, thoroughly enjoyed it. I really need to pick up the rest of the series. I think it's a trilogy, and there's also a prequel, or like a sideways novella. Apologies if you can hear Gary, he's working upstairs. So yeah, gave that 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. This was probably the one I was the most nervous to reread, just because of the size of it and because the genre is not really my thing, but I just had an absolutely brilliant time with it. So there was that. And then Book Break were kind enough to send me How to Winter by Carrie Leibowitz, PhD. It says harnessing your mindset to thrive in cold, dark or difficult times. And they also sent it with these 2 beautiful candles with this ribbon, which is very pretty. No idea really what the significance of this is because they didn't send any instructions, but it's very nice to receive those as well. And this comes out in October, so I'll be picking this up in September. I feel like this might be like a back to school kind of read, and we will see what I make of it. It's a nice short one, and it's just kind of about how to survive in winter, and not to get too like bogged down in all the darkness, etc. So yeah, I'm intrigued to pick that up come September. So it's going to sit on my shelves for a little while, but that's okay. And let's do stats, because then I need to go and run myself a bath and collapse in a heap before we go on house hunt again tomorrow. We went out house hunting Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday this week, possibly. I don't even know. And tomorrow we have 6 houses to see, I think. It's intense. But yes, hopefully we will make a decision this weekend. Anyway, let's do some stats with my trusty blue book. So books read this month was 10. It's not been a great reading month in terms of volume, and I've definitely missed reading, especially the last week. I have not even opened a book, I don't think, since the weekend, because school and life has just been so busy. But 10 books is fine. It's an alright number. That came out to 3,426 pages, or 118 per day. If you're new here, I aim for 150 pages a day, so obviously this was quite far below that, but it's fine, I'm still reading stuff. My average star rating was 4.05, so even though I didn't read many things, what I was reading I was mostly really enjoying. My favourite read of the month has got to be The Hobbit. I was just completely, sorry, Sav's now knocking things over in the hallway. I was just completely swept away by this, and I absolutely love a surprise 5-star. I think obviously it's nice if you pick up a book and it's a 5-star prediction and you kind of know you're going to like it, and you do. I personally prefer those like sneaky, like surprise 5 stars that kind of sneak up on you. So yeah, this is definitely my favourite read for February. My most disappointing will not be any surprise if you've watched at this point in the video. absolutely hated this, thought it was trash. The more I think about it, the more it annoys me. It was definitely The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. It's definitely my most disappointing read of the month. My TBR is on 44 books, so it's gone up 4 books from the end of last month. The oldest book on my TBR is Hedge Witch, which I got in August, which I'm actually currently reading. I say currently reading, I've read 50 pages of it at the weekend and I haven't moved it since. But you will definitely see that at the start of my March wrap up, because I will definitely read it in the next week or so. And then balancing the books. So I had 7 books come off my TBR. I read 10, but obviously a couple of those were rereads and audiobooks and stuff. So 7 books off my physical TBR. And then I had 11 come in. Now obviously I did go book shopping when I went to Worcester to see Chloe. I've had some gifts from publishers and from you guys, so I feel like 11's okay. It's manageable. It does mean for this month that there were 4 more in than went out, so that is just something I just need to keep my eye on for March. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mad month. There's been some really lovely things. Obviously going to see Chloe was a massive highlight. Gary and I going away last weekend was also just a brilliant little breather in the midst of all the madness. We are under offer. Hello Savvy, yes. We are under offer, which is positive, but now we need to find somewhere else to live. So it's just a lot going on. March is the start of lighter days. The clocks go forward at the end of the month. Gary's got his birthday at the end of the month. We've got Mother's Day to celebrate. So lots of nice things coming up. But yeah, it's another busy month. It's a full teaching month, so I don't have any holiday in March. And like I said, we are in the process of trying to find a new home. So we'll leave it there. If you made it to this point in the video, leave me a mountain emoji, because this story very much centres on a mountain. Please subscribe if you would like more of this particular brand of chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.